Tonight, a region warned to be on alert for a sophisticated but damaging text message scam, and concerns about the state of properties in Port Augusta.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. South Australia Police is urging Spencer Gulf residents to be on the lookout for a sophisticated text message scam. The SMS alerts users about a voicemail message, but officers warn against clicking the link provided.
Our mobile phones are once again being targeted by criminals. A new text message scam is being delivered to inboxes across the Spencer Gulf. The ACCC seeing a 140% increase in reports of the scams in the past few weeks.
Scammers will always try to pretend to be a trusted entity, a government, a major retailer, a platform, a bank, utility, etc.
Phone users receive a message saying someone has left a voicemail followed by a URL. If you have an Android phone, the ACCC warns you to avoid clicking on the links in these scam messages. If clicked, a malicious app is downloaded to the phone, stealing personal information like passwords and bank details. The sinister scam has cybercrime officers worried.
Once they download this software, that the scammers have access to the person's device. So it's like handing over your phone when it's unlocked.
Anyone who has lost money or personal information is asked to come forward.
If they're fallen victims of these scams, they can go to police stations and report it.
If you think you have given away financial information, the first thing to do is call your bank so that they can stop harm being done.
Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A Whyalla couple have been convicted after what the RSPCA describes as one of their worst cases of chronic neglect. The dog was found with several ailments at a Whyalla Stewart property last year and died a few days later. This week in court, the owners were given an 18-month good behaviour bond, along with being barred from owning animals. They will be allowed to keep 2 other pets with constant monitoring. A group of Port Augusta residents have criticised City Council for not doing enough to maintain property standards. Council says while they understand their concerns, they can't do anything unless the situation becomes a danger.
In need of a tidy-up, sections of Port Augusta community fed up with the amount of abandoned and overgrown properties. They've expressed concern about how they're being left to deteriorate.
I think Council have let everybody down. Well, it's been abandoned that for over 10 years.
In one instance, an unmaintained garden is consuming a neighbouring property. Is collapsed fence, rotting timber and the appearance of bedding causing concern? The community also raising concerns about sites like the Old Hungry Jack's, labelling it an eyesore on the city's main stretch of road.
We'll go to the proprietor or the owner of the property and promote. We want this is an approach to our city, so we want to look respectable, and if there is vandalism occurring, what are they doing about it?
Residents saying that the council needs to make a greater effort, especially with a rate increase proposed. The mayor confident that they do that already.
We spend quite a bit of time trying to make sure that our town is appropriate when people are coming into it. That's how you entice people to stay.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Southern Launch's space aspirations have taken a big step forward, with the environmental impact statement for the Whalers Way Launch Complex officially launched. The 3,200-page document is now open for community consultation.
The Eyre Peninsula's role in Australia's increasing space industry is a step closer.
We like to think of that the EIS being a testament to the commitment that Southern Launch has to understand the local environment.
Southern Launch revealing its environmental impact statement. 3 years of in-depth analysis of the Whalers Way site, producing some interesting findings.
And Whipbird and the emu wren actually do consume or do live within the Lower Eyre Peninsula. So historically there were limited reports.
Also finding the prevalence of feral animals in the area.
And so one of the things that we want to be doing, working with the local departments, is understanding how best to remove those feral animals from the area.
The paper is now open for community consultation until Thursday, September 16. A public information session will be held on August 24, where locals will hear from the state government's Planning and Land Use Services Office.
Moving forward, Southern Launch is very, very committed to safeguarding that local fauna flora for future generations.
Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a pilot program helping Mid-North mums have a smooth pregnancy praised, and a Port Augusta company to go hunting for new water supplies. Welcome back. A new model of midwifery care trialled in the York and Northern Local Health Network is winning praise across the nation. Now deemed a success, it's raising hopes that rural women will no longer be disadvantaged.
For Scout Bert and 3-month-old son Louis, having midwife Wendy by her side throughout her pregnancy journey made a world of difference.
I think we were just really lucky to be provided with a midwife that would continue through our whole pregnancy journey and then be at the birth of Louis and then be there to support us afterwards as well.
She is one of more than 1,000 women in the York and Northern Local Health Network to benefit from the new model.
This model of care was established 2 years ago as a pilot, and the uniqueness of our model is that we have 5 birthing sites in the York and Northern, and we have 1 governance structure.
21 midwives are located at hospitals across Port Pirie, Crystal Brook, Clare, Jamestown and Wallaroo. It's the first of its kind in Australia, giving regional women like Scout access to an allocated midwife during and after their pregnancy.
I think the opportunity for us to bring what we know is gold standard midwifery care, a known midwife, having a known midwife with you on your journey is really beneficial in so many ways for women of all risk.
A University of South Australia study crediting the success of the program to the continuity of care. Scout grateful to her midwife for the support.
I just think it's really important and we're really lucky out in the country to have access to a program that allows us to really develop a relationship with our midwife.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A new project looking to identify potential groundwater resources for mining companies will take place in South Australia. The state government launching the investigation, with Port Augusta businesses set to play a big role.
Amid the region's drying climate, water is more precious than ever before, especially for our state's mining sector. New sources are being investigated, with the state government investing $5.6 million in a drilling scheme. 2 boreholes will be drilled on a deep confined aquifer stretching from Port Pirie to the northwest of Lee Creek.
We cannot take any more water out of the Great Artesian Basin. We can't take water out of the Murray for mining either. So we are going to identify underground resources for water.
It's aimed at solving supply issues currently hindering new mine developments.
You must have high volumes of water to actually run a productive mine. And so this is about helping find where that water is that can be responsibly used.
The Minister says the goal is to create more jobs for regional South Australians.
When we help the industry develop a new mine, what we're actually doing is helping a myriad of other companies develop new, bigger, larger employment growth opportunities.
And if these guys can find the water we need, we're going to be opening up new mines, which is really just jobs for the area and economic growth, sustainability for the whole district.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The boss of the South Australian Tourism Commission has visited Port Lincoln today. He says regional tourism has seen a sizable increase since the pandemic hit, with more people choosing to explore their own state.
Looking towards the future, the South Australian Tourism Commission CEO meeting with operators throughout the region.
This is great to see that, these businesses are investing in experiences for the future.
Recent figures show regional travel has surged since the pandemic hit. The introduction of the Great State Travel Vouchers credited with helping struggling sectors stay viable.
We've had 7 months of record regional accommodation. 7 months! For our regions, that is such a positive story.
Local business owner Jill Coates says many people booking accommodation are first-time visitors to the region, with occupancy rates booming.
As soon as the restrictions are lifted, it's business as usual, in fact, better than usual.
Developing new market strategies also proving to be a winner with tourists.
You know, a guided e-bike ride through the national park. That's what this is about, whether it's swimming with the sea lions, whether it's the essence of the seafood proposition here in this region.
Deco Beach Luxury Apartments also receiving funding through the Tourism Infrastructure Grant Scheme.
Very excited about being able to expand our accommodation here and we're putting in a swimming pool.
Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. The Broken Hill show falls victim to the New South Wales COVID outbreak. A new Aboriginal artwork launched at a Port Pirie GP clinic. Broken Hill City Council says COVID restrictions will cause delays for a number of major projects. The Queen Elizabeth Park, CBD and lighting upgrades, as well as the art gallery restoration, among those being impacted.
It's really around getting the supplies. It's not so much the workforce. A lot of the workforce and subcontractors are locals, but our biggest issue is being able to get the supplies in at the moment.
Road and footpath upgrades are expected to continue. Council says it's completed more than $1 million of road repairs and resealing since December. And ongoing border restrictions have claimed another local event, with the Silver City show cancelled for a second consecutive year. Organisers say it simply wouldn't be the same without the Showman's Guild supplying rides.
The showgrounds to remain silent this September. COVID concerns and border blockades means no rides and no show.
They're in lockdown Adelaide at the moment for the Adelaide show for a fortnight. As soon as they get their fortnight quarantine here, you've got to go back to Queensland and quarantine for another fortnight.
With the Showman's Guild needing to get to Queensland and COVID creeping further west, the committee was forced to cancel this year's event.
It's a hard decision, but because it comes here and the corona comes and it's coursed through the show, we're never going to live it down.
There had been talk of the show going ahead without rides in the form of market days, that also deemed too risky.
There's arts and crafts, a couple of horse events, and I don't think people come here.
This is a time to be still. This is a time not to travel if you can.
Our mayor's supportive of the decision as the COVID situation in Western New South Wales deteriorates.
When Delta settles and we've got more control, then we'll see some kind of activity happen.
Encouraging locals to support the show committee and the broader community.
Where you can, don't shop online. Call your local business, see what they've got, see if they can get the product in.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
An advocacy group is hoping to build resilience and confidence in residents who live with a disability through a new workshop. The events will cover topics that will help them apply for pensions and liaise with teachers in schools.
Helping residents with disabilities in the Spencer Gulf get what they need. An advocacy group running workshops across the region from next week.
What we really want to do is to teach people in the Upper Spencer Gulf what we do as a disability rights advocacy agency.
The organisation says those affected are demoralised by the barriers they face and often get emotional. It's hoped the upcoming sessions will give them what they need to achieve results.
Hopefully it creates capacity. Hopefully it really helps people to be able to get what they're entitled to, what their rights are.
Experts will cover a range of topics such as knowing their rights when it comes to complaints, accessing the disability support pension, and tips on how to work with schools.
We know that there's a high rate of refusal for people who apply for the disability support pension, even when they should have them.
Port Pirie will host the first one on Monday. Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A new artwork is now on display at Port Pirie's Terrace Clinic, thanks to funding from the Local Health Network. It's hoped the piece will help Indigenous clients to feel more welcome on the site.
unveiling a fine piece of Indigenous art.
Well, I was very stressed because art didn't come till 10 o'clock this morning and then Dr. Andrew had to get it up on the wall. So it's good to see it come together tonight.
It was amazing. It's such a beautiful colour and a lot of things were going in my mind and I could interpret it in so many ways. It's such a beautiful thing and it's peaceful.
This piece is one of 6 across the region, now on display at the Terrace Clinic, thanks to $30,000 in funding from Country SA's Primary Health Network.
It means that it's a more welcoming environment. Clients and community feel like they can come in and be more approachable with staff on site.
Artist Jess Turner drawing inspiration from her children, telling a story of healing in connection with country.
I always sit down and talk to them, oh, what should I paint now, or what should I do now? And they sit there and I said, well, also what's healthy to you when we're back in our country? And straight away they're just like, oh, we like going for walks, so we decided to add some tracks.
Jess also sharing a secret about a section of the artwork she painted backwards.
I'll let you know it's some colours that are backwards. So there's one spot and my oldest son was the first person to pick it out. I tried to keep it a secret, but I think it gives us something to kind of look at and kind of want to find it.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Our experts preview this week's local footy fixtures. And we'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. With finals just around the corner, let's go around the grounds and preview the weekend's local footy action. Here's our experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to round 13 of SGL football. This round sees Central return to Port Pirie for the second time in 2 weeks, this time to take on the Rampaging Lions. The Lions were awesome last week, destroying Ports, and will be looking to repeat that performance against Central. I'm tipping the Lions. Over at Port Oval, we got Port taking on West. West are still in the hunt for the finals and be looking for a big win over Ports. I'm tipping West. Up in Port Augusta, we got the match of the round with Sully's taking on South. Sully sits secure in top spot with South breathing down their necks in third. This will be a great game. I'm going to tip Sully's in a close one.
Just 3 matches to go here in Whyalla football and Friday night football again between Maroona Bay and South Whyalla. Being a night game, it's probably going to be a bit closer than it would normally. Either way, Bays to win comfortably. Saturday at Bennett Oval, West Whyalla versus Central Whyalla, both teams playing finals. This will be the closest game on the weekend, West to win just. And finally on Saturday on the oval behind me, it'll be Rupina versus North Whyalla. Roos lost by over 200 points the week before. They're a better team than that though, but either way I can't see them beating North.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips. We kick things off with Mallee Park hosting Waybacks. Mallee Park are always hard to beat at home. They really need to win this game to keep in touch with the 4. Waybacks are going to win this one and win this one by 4 goals. In the next game, we've got Lincoln South hosting Marble Range at Centenary Oval. This is top 2 playing against each other. However, Lincoln South have probably dropped away over the last month. Marble Range are still undefeated and they should win this one and win this one by 5 goals. In the last game, we got the ever-improving Bostons hosting Tasmans at Poole Oval. Tasman's going to win this and win this one by a big margin. I'm thinking 9 or 10 goals.
Round 17 of local footy in Broken Hill, and I think we're going to see 2 predictable results. South, it's their last home game for the year at Alma Oval. Arlen Bird, game 200. They're taking on Central. Central haven't won a game. South will win easy. At Jubilee Oval, West play North. North are resting under 18 players and senior players ahead of a preliminary final in 2 weeks. Who will win? West will win. How much? Plenty.
Time for a look at what we can expect weather-wise over the weekend. With the details, it's good evening for the final time this week to Alex Sykes.
And good evening to you, John. Well, a few showers about the region today, but the weekend is looking mighty fine. From 3 p.m. today, Port Augusta was mostly sunny and 19 degrees. Port Lincoln had a shower or 2 with 17, and Cooper Pedy was sunny and 19. Looking further out across the region now, it was mostly sunny and 17 in Port Pirie and Whyalla. Partly cloudy for Broken Hill, 17. Kadina was partly cloudy and reached a high of 16 degrees. There were showers for Cleve and Adelaide at both 16, and it was partly cloudy for Clare, 14. Taking a look at the satellite image now, cloud over southern and southeastern South Australia in unstable westerly winds is generating showers, heaviest in the southeast. Skies are generally clear elsewhere in the state under a broad high pressure system, leading to morning frost in some northern areas. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Variable winds 10 knots, seas below 1 metre, and south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. Port Lincoln is set to be mostly sunny and 18, Cleve is set to reach 19, and Woodner mostly sunny 21, Whyalla sunny and 20, Port Augusta mostly sunny and 22, and Kadina sunny and 17 degrees. Port Pirie and Broken Hill both set to reach a high of 19 degrees, and Clare will be sunny and 16. Taking a look at Sunday's forecast now, beautiful conditions, sunny for Cooper Pedy, Broken Hill, Woodner and Port Lincoln, partly cloudy across the rest of the region, temperatures to be in the mid-teens to low 20s. Taking a look further into next week's forecast now, mainly fine conditions on Monday, sunny for Broken Hill, partly cloudy across the rest of the region, rain for Adelaide, temperatures to be in the high teens to low 20s. And on Tuesday, sunny for Cooper Pedy and Broken Hill, partly cloudy across the rest of the Gulf and Adelaide, temperatures in the high teens to low 20s again. So it looks like there will be clear skies for tonight's Illuminate Festival, John, and also right over the weekend and into next week. It definitely feels like spring is on its way, and that's all the weather from me for tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, Alex. And that's the local news for the week. Just a reminder, you can find us at Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. I'm John Hunt, thanks for your company. I'll have updates later, and Ruby Kamane will join you on Monday at 7 p.m. Good night.